Man, wait till you guys hear who one of my favorite starts is this week. But before we get into that, it's week 12, and we've got actually a handful of guys that are out. A couple this morning that have been announced as out. But before we get into all that, I'm Justin. We got my main man Slayton here. Snipes by Slate. What's up, brother? How's your week going?
Oh, man, it's going good, man. It's pretty damn excited. We're in the make and break hour here. It's do or die time, boys. So definitely excited to get our hands on some rosters today and kind of see where we go, man. I'm excited to see some of these rookies play today. There's some really good games that are going to showcase a lot of these rookie talents as far as quarterbacks. I'm really excited to see how Drake May performs today. I'm really excited to see how J.J. McCarthy does. All these young quarterbacks, I'm really excited to kind of see how they play because there's a lot of stiff competition. So that and just kind of missing Josh Jacobs, that's kind of a tough one to take this morning, but we're going to digress.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. We will get to him in a second. I'm glad you brought that up. But before we get started, we've got some teams that are on bye weeks. So if you haven't really been paying attention to your fantasy lineups, I know we got Thanksgiving this week. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you enjoy time with your families. So we've got 4 teams on bye this week. First, and of course you're missing some quality players from these teams. So let's go over it first. So we got first to start with the Broncos. Broncos are on bye week. So who are going to be those main players that you're going to be missing having to replace on your roster, Slayton?
I mean, the biggest one is just going to be Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton's been mainstay in that offense, and he's been a solid 10 points each week for you. So he's going to be the biggest one missing. Bo Nix is very matchup dependent, but if you're scrounging and you only got 2 quarterbacks right now and you're having to start somebody else, or you're trying to make it through and you've got him and Aaron Rodgers, you're pretty well screwed right now. So not having Bo Nix could be an issue, but not crazily. And kind of the emergence of Harvey coming out, he's been pretty rock solid for us the last couple weeks. So I'm excited to kind of see what he does for the rest of the season, but definitely a couple there that I'm a little upset not to have the lineup this.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be missing that on the Broncos. Man, somebody that I was kind of excited about on there that hopefully they can kind of still maybe be something is J.K. Dobbins, dude. Like I kind of like that you kind of got to see the resurrection, refreshing. He's on another team, his third team. So, of course, we know he started off with the Ravens. All of us really love J.K. Dobbins coming out of college, especially us dynasty players. Dobbins was like a top 2, top 3 pick based on your league settings, and man, just injury after injury after injury. But you know what? It's all wheels up for R.J. Harvey in that regard. So that's good. The next team we got on bye week is the Miami Dolphins. So man, really the only person that you're really so Jerry Murphy said they like the Eagles. Yeah, that's going to be a fun game against Dallas. So with the Dolphins, you're just missing Devon Achane. You can't trust Tua. Tyreek Hill going out. He's probably done in Miami. Definitely not done with the NFL. He's got way too much child support to pay. But Jalen Waddle, I think, especially dynasty managers, we're still kind of hoping that Waddle is going to be resurrected by maybe another quarterback situation. I went and stashed Quinn Ewers in one of my dynasty leagues just in case. Like I don't think he's going to be anything great. I'm not saying that. But so Devon Achane is pretty much the only thing that you can count on right now in Miami. But next one's going to be the LA Chargers. I had to catch myself. I wanted to say San Diego so bad. But so on the LA Chargers, Slayton, who are going to be the big ones that you're missing this week that you got to look to replace?
Oh man, nearly that entire offense. It's been kind of. Oh man, we got a bunch of messages in the chat today.
Yeah, I've got Giants fans up in here, Eagles fans. They're gonna start fighting over here.
Heck yeah, man. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
But no, man, like that entire offense, I'm pretty sad not having old Ladorian in my lineup. I'm pretty sad not having Justin Herbert right now for my best ball leagues. I know QJ's definitely being missed in a lot of my best ball leagues. Granted, I don't have any real shares of him in the grand scheme of things. My third and I wish I had him this week for a solid 10 points, but you know, it's one of those weeks, man. You got some pretty solid, good contending offenses that are sitting, and it's one of those ones that you're going to have to try to survive. It's one of those gambles that you had to take from skipping out on week 8 buys to attack some offenses that have later buys, and this is kind of what you end up dealing with.
So Francis said George Kittle's the best tight end in the league. You agree with that?
To an extent, yes. You know, I definitely feel on that same train. I think he is better than Brock Bowers. And I think that probably won't be a very liked comment. But at the end of the day, I think that his physicality and what he's shown year in, year out, he's been a legitimate target there. Granted, the injury issues are always a problem, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the dude has been rock solid. And if he's not picked number 1 in the draft for the WWE after his retirement, then there's
like we're gonna see Kittle get drafted first overall or in the first round again.
Yeah. If he
I honestly don't know like what round Kittle was drafted in, but no, like as far as a pure tight end, I can't really disagree with you as far as right now. Route running, Bowers is pretty good. Bowers is pretty decent, but Kittle, that dude's like, he's basically a lineman at this point, and he's got the same talent as Brock Bowers. So I don't know. I can't really disagree with that, but
I mean, I do have to say that Trey McBride has to be in that conversation too. He has been phenomenal the last couple of years, and he's been rock solid on an offense that's struggling. So
yeah,
I give him his tea there. And you know, we might have to hold the phone on some of these younger guys too, man. Warren's looking solid, and maybe a little bit of Darnell Washington.
Which, dude, I like Darnell Washington coming out of college too. But there's two rookie tight ends that I think if you're in Dynasty, you should hold off. You should hold on to them or go try and trade for them. Hopefully, you can get this done before your trade deadline's over, or if you don't have a trade deadline, get them on your taxi squad. That's Elijah Arroyo with Seattle, and that's Harold Fannin Jr. with Cleveland. I think those two guys are going to be good stashes for you, especially in tight end premium leagues. What?
Hey, Gadsden.
Oh, well, yeah, no, we've been preaching around, especially like myself. Like I love me some Arondé Gadsden. Like he should be somebody that you already have, but he's had a couple slow weeks. So now is your opportunity to go buy. Go get Arondé Gadsden, go get Elijah Arroyo, and then go ahead and go grab Harold Fannin Jr. Those are 3 really good tight ends that you can stash on your league in dynasty leagues. But for today, we've actually got a matchup coming up in about 50 minutes. That's 5-0. of two really, really good tight ends, one of which you just talked about, and that's going to be the Colts, and then that's also going to be the Chiefs. So,
This is like a
bro,
torch today, man.
yeah. So you're going to have
Gonna be a
Travis Kelce and Tyler Warren on the same field. Like you're going to see the old guard and the new guard right now.
Oh man.
Okay, so Mick, that's Big Mick Lipper. You normally see him on Tuesday nights. He's out there keeping the lights on. He says DeAndre Swift, or I'm assuming that's Trey Tucker.
Swift.
So DeAndre Swift has a really, really nice matchup today. I know the Steelers defense has normally been something to be worried about, but dude, I feel like the Steelers defense is very inconsistent. What do you think?
Yeah, I've seen the Steelers defense get ran on. Now, I'll tell you right now, I don't want any part of playing Cleveland's defense right now. It's not something that I am rushing out to do.
Yeah. Leo Dobson, what are you guys talking about? And hi, man, we're just talking ball, man, talking some football, getting ready for Sunday games. Welcome in. So if you see at the bottom on our banner here, okay, here at Kingmaker Sports, we're doing something really cool. We're giving away a free jersey, a free NFL football jersey to our subscribers. So we're going to be doing a drawing on our Tuesday shows after we hit 200 subscribers. You can't win the jersey if you're not a subscriber to the Kingmaker Sports YouTube channel. So make sure you go do that right now while you're here. Tell a friend, bring a friend, all that good stuff. So that way everybody can enjoy this beautiful game of football that we all love. And Trey Tucker against the Browns. So that's a weird game, dude. I'm curious how that game is going to play out, because two like dog water teams. Well, I can't say dog water because my dog has a filtered water bowl, but like dog crap teams, and I'm not sure how that's going to play out. So hello from Atlanta. Hey Charles, what's up, man? Hope I like the potential of what your birds are doing out there if you're a Falcons fan. So
yeah, I'm excited to see old Kirko Chains today, man.
Right. You like that?
Get him out here, man. I'm excited. So hopefully, I feel like he didn't get as much justice last year with the injury and everything else, and then the benching. So I'm excited for him to kind of go out there and show that he's still able to be able to sling that ball, and hopefully he can set himself up for another contract somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be good. Especially if you're in a super flex team, he's a good little stash or whatever like that. Because he's kind of like that Joe Flacco. Like he's not going away anytime soon. He's reliable, all that stuff like that. So,
and you definitely know what he's capable of. You've seen it, and it's just like Joe Flacco. Yeah, he might have some shitty games out of the rip, but at the end of the day, Buddy can still play with the best of them.
Oh, sure can. Especially with all those weapons that he has in Atlanta, but. I mean, that contract that they signed him to, he's just kind of stuck in Atlanta. I think that's why we didn't really see him at the trade deadline, is because it had so much attached to him. And teams aren't going to pay that for that age of a quarterback, So, but
they will, but at the same time, you've got to have some film on tape, or some tape on film,
Yeah, especially recent success. Yeah.
He hasn't been playing in over a year and a half, and you can't justify dumping that much money into somebody that you haven't been able to see in a year and a half.
That's true.
It is. With Flacco, he's just as old, but he was recently they saw him play recently. So
yeah,
they were a little bit more applicable, and I can tell you that the contract was probably a little bit cheaper, but at the end of the day, it's the same concept.
Yeah. So if you're in the chat, let us know what your roster questions are. If you got any general NFL football questions, we'd love to hear from you and chat it up. Let's look at some injuries that we know that are out. But first, I want to talk about Joe Burrow, one of the biggest names with quarterbacks going on right now. Joe Burrow is back at practice, and the Bengals are talking about possibly bringing Joe Burrow back this season. Do you think they should bring him back, even if you're, because they're probably not making the playoffs. Let's just be realistic about this. But do you think that they should bring him back? But before we get to that question, hold that thought. Steven Peterson says, Parker Washington or Wan'Dale Robinson? I'm going to go Parker Washington because even though you do got Jameis Winston playing in New York, no BTJ again.
Yeah.
And who's somebody we're going to talk about with our inactives list.
Being fed out of necessity is kind of where we're at there with Parker Washington. He's going to get targets by proxy. Where Juan Diesel, like I like Wan'Dale, but at the same time, I think that Jameis is a little bit more sporadic under the gun.
Or Pretty Ricky. He said, or Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky. As it sits right now, I'm probably leaning Parker. I do like Pretty Ricky, but at the same time, with him not producing last week, it gives me some red flags. I won't lie to you. It's a little bit of like I know that he can produce, like he's shown before, but I'm still a little bit worried because he didn't look 100% healthy last week. So I'm hoping
that was with Brock Purdy being back too.
That's with Brock Purdy being back too. So that I'd be a little bit hesitant. I'd probably lean Parker right now, as it sits, and BTJ is officially out and never. So yeah, that would probably be the route that I go, but I'm definitely not in love with it.
I need to check real quick on Brenton Strange.
He's in.
He is in. Okay, so that's going to help a lot with the short stuff. But my thing with Brenton Strange is a hip injury. Like the NFL, like they target that stuff. Like I'm not targeting. I'm not saying that, but that's where they're going to hit a big guy is right there in that thigh hip range. So that could be if you started Brenton Strange, he may not see their whole game because like, oh, I'm still sore, this and that, which I'm sure they're pumping him full of cortisone shots, but I don't know what all the super medicine they use on these guys nowadays or not, but I'm going to go Parker Washington on that one, Steven, or Stefan, however you pronounce your name, buddy. I don't want to butcher it for you, buddy, but yeah, so I'm going to go Parker Washington on that one. Just out of, like he said, necessity. They're going to be playing a very game Cardinals team who we saw Jacoby Brissett and Michael Wilson last week just go nuclear.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Slayton told you about Michael Wilson. So hopefully you took that advice and you put Michael Wilson in there. So if you did
advice last week, you're feeling really damn good this week because he's about to get wide receiver 1 again this week because Harrison Jr. is out again this week with an illness. So fire him back up, man.
Yeah, he's already sick of playing for the Cardinals. That's what it is.
Yeah, sick of playing with the Cardinals, sick of being there. I could understand, man. It shambles.
So, Joe Burrow, what are we feeling about Joe Burrow about them potentially bringing him back?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. That's pure blown stupidity for me. I think a lot of it stems that maybe that front office still thinks that they have a fighting chance to win the division. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm not risking my entire franchise.
He said, we believe in the Tootin' Train. Dude.
I do for dynasty purposes, yes. For weekly fantasy right now, for season long, not as much. I think that you could be a lot worse off, though, in a kind of a bye-week hell type of deal. But, I'd probably play him over like a Blake Corum. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, if you had to, I think that's not a bad choice.
Not somebody that I'm like, it's a rock start, starting with authority, but it's definitely somebody in a pinch I would definitely fire up.
Because if they're going to be in a shootout with the Cardinals, and I know that sounds weird to say, but if they're going to be in a shootout with the Cardinals, like you want somebody who's going to catch the ball, like Bashal Tootin. But the Bengals are 3-7. They're 2-3 at home. Like they're not making the playoffs. They're not. I'm sorry. If you're a Bengals fan, but if you're a Bengals fan, also you want to protect your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So
my only thing is like maybe he's sitting there thinking like, oh, we're losing money because there's no asses in seats. We're having a failing team, so let's try to put our star player back in, and hopefully that'll bring more attention and bring more media and bring more revenue. I don't know. It just
if you're
doesn't.
going to do that, which from a business standpoint makes sense, but if you're going to do that, then I think say, hey, Joe Burrow's suiting up as our emergency quarterback, emergency only. Joe Flacco's our starter, going for all like doing all that stuff like that. But because I think you're right, because as long as he's in uniform, people are going to go because there's that chance. There's that chance they could see Joe Burrow out there.
Yeah.
The new version of Joe Cool, maybe, which is ironic because Joe Cool's on your team. So, but yeah, so Joe Burrow is out though, but he has been practicing. Jackson Dart, another one out. They got Jameis Winston. So we just saw earlier where Steven was talking about Wan'Dale Robinson being an option for him. Do you think Wan'Dale Robinson's an option with Jameis Winston?
It's Stefan, by the way, Bubba.
Stefan? Okay.
Yep. I think he does. Jameis has always been kind of a gunslinger type of guy. We see what he did in Tampa Bay. We've seen him what he's done in New Orleans. Like he's serviceable to throw to a wide receiver. It's just kind of game script dependent. And from my understandings, they've got a pretty rough matchup this week. So they are right now. They're looking at. I think Vegas has them plus 13 right now. So like the spread on that game's like 13 points for them to lose by. So
Crazy.
I don't trust it. They're going to have to throw. If that's going to be the case, they're going to have to throw if they're playing from behind. So
yeah.
But at the same time, the quality of target is iffy. Packers or Vikings? Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Right now, for me, it's probably going to be the Packers.
Okay. This is all going to depend on J.J. McCarthy, really, for me, because he hasn't been very good lately. He's six touchdowns, 6 interceptions, as far as like not being under pressure, which is crazy because the quarterback should be doing very well with no pressure. I do have to go Vikings here as well because Josh Jacobs is playing. Yeah. Wait, no. Josh Jacobs is out. Sorry. So Emmanuel Wilson showed that he was pretty decent. So I gotta go with the Packers on this one, man.
Hey, be careful how you talk about 9, man. That's Stefan's favorite player there. Oh, he been in the chat all week talking about J.J. McCarthy, about how he can't stand him. He said,
"Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
I mean, McCarthy's going to have a good future in the NFL, I believe. But right now, it's just it's rough roads. I mean, because it's kind of pretty much his like rookie year when you think about it.
Yeah, without a doubt. No, it's a lot of. He's a big Bears fan, so we all give him shit for liking Caleb. It just is what it is. It's a good camaraderie there, but so there's a lot of rhetoric, and he's like, I don't understand why Caleb gets all of this hate, and JJ gets praise and gets chances when he's doing the same shit and he's not looked good, which it's valid. It's definitely a valid argument because no, he look good. And just so you know, Steph, I did put a parlay in for J.J. McCarthy to throw an interception today. So you're welcome.
There you go. So, which you know what? That leads us right into our next topic. Let's look at some good bets here, some best bets. Okay. Slayton, you're pretty much the guy when it comes to best ball. I mean, not best ball, but daily fantasy and even best ball as well. What are some good quarterback bets? I know you've been really, really big on Geno. Are you still big on Geno to throw an interception?
Oh yeah, dude, they're playing Cleveland this week. Even better, man. So Cleveland's got a stout defense. Denzel Ward's going to be skyhawking that man all afternoon. I'm ready to fire up another one for Geno today, and same with Shador Sanders. No knock on,
Oh,
like I think he is a hell of a player. I think he's going to show the world that he is not just a complete turd on that roster this week. I think he's going to show a little bit of what he's got, and I'm excited to see that. But I do think there's going to be some growing pains in this situation, and they're playing a pretty decent defense. So I would not be surprised to see an interception from him, and same with JJ McCarthy. So I've got all those guys for plus a half interception or more. So if they throw one interception, you're going to be cashing out there. Another big thing that I've been taking a peek at today is that there's 3 games that it's a 13-point spread. Man, you know how hard it is to come up with a 13-point spread? I am betting the under on all 3 of those games. So,
that's high.
so
That
those
that seems like a
are
pretty good bet.
my big ones today. I think that I'm probably going to bet the under on Pat Mahomes today. I do not like that matchup whatsoever. I think that defense is going to eat him alive. Uh, I pray not for their sake, but at the same time, I think the Colts defense is going to be a legitimate problem today for him.
Hey, I hope so too. I hope so too. Let's go with that. I like the way you think, man. I love it. I
And,
love it so
I
much.
also would be putting some money on some random touchdown lines for that Rams and Buccaneers game. I have a feeling that game is going to be an absolute shootout this afternoon. So I think you're pretty well apt to throw in about anytime touchdown on any of those playmakers in that offense to get some easy bread today.
That's fair. So with that, so with Shador Sanders, this is definitely like a statement game opportunity for him. All the talking, all the innuendos, things like that he's done all season. Of course, getting passed over in the draft, such a big thing, and kind of I feel like it should have been a very eye-opening moment for him to say, damn, maybe the NFL doesn't think I'm as good as I think I am, or as my daddy has told me I am. Of course, they go with Dylan Gabriel first. And of course, he gets the first crack at starting because of the draft capital, right? Now it's Shador Sanders' turn. So we're thinking that Shador Sanders is going to be good or decent, or he's just not going to be good at football.
No, I think Shador is going to come out and show. I really do. The big thing on this is I think it's definitely in his head that he's playing a team that definitely passed on him. It not as like a sense of like, yeah, all the teams pretty much passed on him, but this is a team that had multiple picks before he got picked, and it was one team that was shown that they were interested in him in the beginning. So I think this is going to be kind of one of those chip on your shoulder types of games. Granted, we'll see how he reacts to Max Crosby being right in his fucking face all morning. But we'll see. I think this is going to be a very sure tell sign of what they've got going on, man.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how he responds to this. So Kilo OZ says, "Who do you got on the Vikings game?" We see his picture. He's got JJ on there. He's got Justin Jefferson. So I think we kind of know which way he's wanting to lean. But are you talking about? I'm assuming Kilo, you're talking about who we have as like our favorite players, or what?
People that I'd be starting up in that game, as far as you're gonna play your playmakers without a doubt. You're gonna have to start JJ.
Yeah, you're playing Jefferson.
I would definitely be starting Aaron Jones. Granted, it's not a good looking pick by any means. It's not a good looking start. It's going to be serviceable. Jordan Addison, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit worried on there. Like, I don't think that that's somebody that I want to throw in my lineup because he hasn't really shown that he is something that's going to give you consistent points yet. So, and I think that's
Yeah.
a struggling play.
So DeAndre Swift, Tyrone Tracy, Emmanuel Wilson, or Sean Tucker. We saw Sean Tucker had a good game last week,
Am I
but
crazy to say Sean Tucker in this?
I don't think you're crazy. I don't think it's gonna last though.
No, I don't think
I
it's going
was big on Sean Tucker coming out
for a weekly shot this week for just a spot start. I don't hate that.
but I would definitely take DeAndre Swift over any of the other three if that's your
Yeah,
question.
on any other week, yeah, I probably would go the Swift route as well. But man, Tucker's been a hot hand, and that Rams defense is hit and miss. I really think that this is going to be one of those games that is going to be a fucking barn burner, and it's just going to be a bunch of points. Like if you go and look at the point total on that game, like it's pretty high. So I think that's going to be an over under game to where they're going to be banging the doors out. So I would be starting Tucker for me. That would be probably my go to there, and then a short second would be Swift.
Yeah, I mean, so
I
the
mean,
higher point total is definitely going to go to Bucks Rams. Um, so I mean, so okay, so you're going Sean Tucker, and then I'm saying DeAndre Swift.
yeah,
But I know that Mick has a soft
with a
spot for DeAndre Swift, always has. So hopefully that helps you out, Mick. We miss you, buddy. Mellow Mike says Texans have went 3-0 with Davis Mills.
Dougie.
Holy crap, we destroyed Josh Allen. You're not wrong, bro. 3-0 with Davis Mills, but Davis Mills never was like a horrible quarterback by any means. Like he wasn't horrible. But he is making it happen. So talking about the Texans destroyed Josh Allen. Like at what point do we say that the Texans defense is like elite?
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked at the fucking history of Josh Allen's performances against Houston's defense over the last 2 years, but I can tell you it's been his worst performances of his career.
Well, it's continuing.
And it's continuing. Like they have his number. Like it's not a surprise. And if you watch the tendencies and you watch how he plays against certain defenses, like you would have known that was coming. So like, yeah, they did win. They got a great win. They beat the Bills, but at the end of the day, it's middle of the season. There's really no stakes behind it. It is what it is. And you can see that he was visibly frustrated early. So a lot of it was just more of a mind game for me, I would assume. I think they get into his head pretty good there for whatever reason. And then you also have Coleman that is dicking around, being healthy scratches for the last 2 weeks, having team meetings with him, and they're all telling him, like, "Do you need to get your shit together? Like, you're being a bum." So, yeah, like, it's just not a good look right now. And, like, same sentiment that I've been saying for the last 2.5 years now is they need a legitimate wide receiver out there. And yet we keep playing this fucking bullshit game of let's bring in a bunch of bums and see how they do. And it just does not work out. We're seeing the same thing in Kansas City. We're seeing the same thing in a lot of these offenses that have, awesome QBs, and they're trying to make them the truck, not the trailer anymore. And like I
Right.
get that, but at the same time, like you got to have some sort of pass catcher to be a viable threat. You've got to have that guy that can go out and pinpoint a catch in game time deciding games. Like it's insane to me that this has been a glaring issue for this team for how many years now,
Yeah.
and is being done.
I like Keon Coleman. Like I liked Keon Coleman coming out of FSU. They have to figure out a way to utilize their pass catchers. They got to figure out what's going on with Keon Coleman. Is he trying to do the AJ Brown thing? You remember how AJ Brown was like, "Oh, I'm not catching any balls, this and that, or whatever." but Keon not understanding, like, you are not AJ Brown. You are not at his talent level. You are not at his just at his level in any way. So you can't say the same things and do the same things that AJ Brown can. I don't know, but hopefully the ownership has talked to him and figured that out. But if they can't, so we see the numbers over here, looking at the playoff picture, like what the percentage is. Now this is just AFC right here. So with the Bills' loss to the Texans, it definitely hurts they're going to make the playoffs, right? I don't think anybody doubts that, but it definitely hurts their chance of winning the division. So we see the 21% right there. So the Broncos, Patriots are winning that division easily. They've just had such a great season so far. But with the AFC, every win matters. So losing to an AFC opponent is going to hurt them. But these numbers aren't going to go well for them if they can't figure out how to pass the ball. We saw the Texans lock down Josh Allen, and they focused on Josh Allen, and what happened? They won the game. They made Josh Allen look irrelevant. Mm-hmm. So that's the key to Josh Allen. If the Bills ever lose Josh Allen, they're screwed. You might as well just give up James Cook, all that stuff. Like, you're screwed without Josh Allen.
Crashing down in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So, but just wanted to bring that up. I'll go ahead and drop this on the side. We'll bring that up a little later.
But no, I was on the same sentiment with you with Keon Coleman coming out, man. Honestly, because I was a big fan of watching him at FSU, and I was really hoping that he would pan out. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that he is cousins with CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, man, like, if that has any sort of truth or relevancy to it, like, somebody needs to grab a hold of this kid and get him with somebody that can get him right. Get him one of these big name wide receivers, maybe an Ocho Cinco or somebody that can get him.
Maybe not somebody as verbal as Ocho Cinco. Maybe a more like, well, I don't know. You know what? Maybe you're right. Because Ocho Cinco was very verbal, very like diva while he was playing. So maybe like to say, hey, look, kid, this is what I did. But Ocho was like elite, though. Keon's not elite.
I mean, he's going to instill work ethic if he's to work with somebody that's at that ultra elite talent status. Like, those guys didn't get there because they were naturally gifted. They worked 10 times as hard as everybody else, and if you go and watch and listen to half of these guys talk about what they did and what they were doing, it is insane. And like, to be at that top level, you have to be honing your skills at all times.
Stefan said my dog's name is Ocho Cinco. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Mellow Mike, man, he said Keon was showing up late to team meetings and wasn't disciplined. Kincaid, which makes a lot of sense because I've always wondered, like, why is Dalton Kincaid not featured more in that offense? McCole Hardman, another one who, like, we thought was going to come in and replace Tyreek Hill. You remember when Tyreek Hill was having those legal issues with Kansas City about, like, the allegedly, like, laughing about hitting his kid, like, all that kind of stuff, abusing his kid or whatever, allegedly. Shakir and Cam Davis were his only targets. I mean, it's – yeah, I mean, when Shakir and Gabe Davis is it, I mean, it's –
playing that offense. Everybody else is trash.
Mike says, I put him in the offseason workout with Hines Ward. Guy was a professional.
Yes.
Oh, totally. Yes. Hines Ward.
It's like, you get him in the room with somebody that was one of those types of talents, like a Larry Fitzgerald, somebody like that. Get him in a room.
Dude, Larry. Yes, Larry Fitzgerald for sure.
Somebody like that that's going to teach this young man, like, what it is to be a professional. And, like, I seen all the videos of Deion Dawkins talking, like, yeah, we sat down, we talked to Keon Coleman, we told him, like, this stuff needs to stop, and then you watch him, like, out there dancing on the sideline while he's in warm-up gear. Like, come on now. Like, what are we doing?
Clearly, like, he ain't listening to you, bro.
You're in sweats out here dancing around on the sideline whenever you're paid to be on the fucking field.
I mean, they let Travis Hunter do it. So, I don't know. That's hopefully somebody can get to this young man. That way his career's not ruined just by being a turd. because we've seen some players they just turds and teams don't want to touch them. So,
Yeah.
to finish up, real quick, our players that are out that we're having to replace. We talked about Jackson Dart being out, so Jameis Winston is in. Isaiah Pacheco is out, so you're basically depending on Kareem Hunt and maybe Brashard Smith? Question mark. I don't know why they're not giving him more run out of necessity, but against a very stout Colts defense, Drake London is out.
Yep.
And so Drake London is out, and you have Kirk Cousins there. So Bijan, or we think Kyle Pitts might get some love.
I would be surprised if Kyle Pitts got, one pass for 7 yards.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that sounds on pace. Yeah.
He'll probably get some sort of work. I'm being a smart ass, but at the end of the day, I think he'll probably target a little bit of Pitts, maybe a Darnell Mooney type of game.
Old quarterbacks do love tight ends and dump off passes. So,
from what I remember last year, he had a little bit of love with Darnell Mooney for the
there you go.
Start of the season when he was there. So that might be somebody to kind of low-key look into today as well. Okay. But yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. So we mentioned earlier when we had the Parker Washington question. So he's out, but he practiced all week and he's out. So, man, I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville, bro. But so you're not get Brian Thomas Jr. out of your lineup. Obviously, you can't drop him because he could have a good game. I mean, we got playoffs coming up, so you don't want to drop a player like that and let somebody else get those points. Bucky Irving is out. We mentioned Sean Tucker earlier. Sean Tucker is going to be a very, very good waiver pickup. Also a good spot start, because that is supposed to be like a 50-point game, something like that with that spread. Josh Jacobs, we mentioned, is out. So Emmanuel Wilson is going to be filling in there. But good thing about Emmanuel Wilson is Emmanuel Wilson can do everything. Like, he can play every position, every situation. So want to go ahead and grab Emmanuel Wilson if he's available. Aaron Rodgers, we know he had that non-throwing hand injury. They said he's got like a little fracture going on. They're trying to see if he could play, but he's not. So Mason Rudolph is going to be the guy there. Good thing is, though, about Mason Rudolph, he's got experience in that offense. He's got experience with Mike Tomlin. So that stuff does help as far as for Mason Rudolph. But, man, I don't know if Mason Rudolph can produce the numbers that you're going to want for a guy like DK Metcalf. So this may be good for Darnell Washington. So,
I definitely believe in Darnell Washington. I will not lie to you on that.
Yeah.
The dude is so fucking big. There is no way that you take that man off the field. Like, he's so big and he is a good blocker. It's hard to take that off the field. It's kind of the same principle with a running back that is good with pass blocking. You can't take them off the field, man. Like, you got to leave them there because they can do it all. And showing last week, he showed that he could catch and he can run. He can do it all. So I'm excited to see him get more involved in that.
He's just such a massive human being.
Yeah. Did you see that podcast with him and Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No.
Yeah, they were talking. They're like, "Yo, man, what's up with your ESPN saying that you're like 250 pounds?" And he just started laughing. They're like, "For real? Like, what is your weight, though?"
Oh.
He around the bush for a minute. He's like, "Yeah, I'm 311 pounds." They're like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Wow.
Listed online on NFL Network at like 265. I was like, yeah, I'm 265, dog. Like, nah.
Now I'm curious. Now I want to go back and look at his official combine numbers. Now I get it that you'll put on weight in the NFL, but like, dang, put on 40 pounds, almost 50 pounds since you drafted, 2 years ago?
Wild, dog. He's been wild. I think they've been lying on tapes, but we'll see.
Yeah. Now I know with college players, like I know their stuff's gonna lie because the university is the one putting the numbers out. I need a Mellow Mike says I need a solid from KC this week. You shut that stuff up first off.
Yeah.
If the Texans get wins against Kansas City, both Colts 2 times, and the Chargers, we have Cardinals and Raiders. Texans could sneak back in the AFC South race. Don't hold your breath on that, Mike. Don't hold your breath.
Correct, Mike.
I think with how the Texans defense is playing, I think Texans Colts has become very interesting. Because at the beginning of the season, it looked like the Texans were just trash. It looked like the Jaguars were for real outside of an offensive line. But now, like, bro, like the Jaguars have fallen off. They came back to reality with, I can't really even say injuries because Travis Hunter wasn't really doing anything on defense anyway. But the Texans defense has really, really been shown. Like if you got the Texans defense in fantasy, you're feeling really good.
Danielle Hunter's been playing out of his damn mind, dude. That man's been eating. Will Anderson too. Both those dudes are absolutely elite.
Yeah.
They're some hell-raising motherfuckers out there, boy. They're roughing stuff up.
We talked about Aaron Rodgers with his fractured hand. They were trying to see if he could play. He can't. Mason Rudolph's out there. We talked about Darnell Washington. Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is in. They're saying he's playing, barring any kind of last-second thing. So what does this mean for the offense for them? Having Emeka Egbuka, having Chris Godwin, having Kate Otten, and I guess Sean Tucker's pretty decent at football. So are we firing up Chris Godwin, or are we pumping the brakes a little bit and we think Emeka Egbuka is going to get that and Godwin could be a decoy?
I'm thinking it might be a Godwin decoy situation for this first week, but I couldn't be happier because please take some coverage off that man. You know, please let him run free. My dynasty would love it. You know.
Yeah. Mellow Mike with the chats, bro. Thank you so much. Jonathan Taylor worries me. 15 touchdowns on the year. He has been a Texans killer in the past. Not gonna lie. Well, no, you don't have to lie. The stats speak for themselves. JT has just been a league winner this year, man. Like JT, somebody like, bro, people were sleeping on JT before the season.
He has been absolutely unreal.
The Colts have figured out their offense. Run the ball and don't let Daniel Jones try and run the offense. Just let him hit the open man. That's been working out. Maybe not great for your receivers because, you know, he's not one of those like hyper-focus on one guy kind of player. He's definitely not your Aaron Rodgers looking for Devonta Adams situation. But last but not least, as far as outs that I have is Marvin Harrison Jr. is out, another thing with an illness. So tell them who they need to fire up again.
Spot started again, Michael Wilson, and it's a good matchup too. That's what I really loved about the whole situation. Right now, he's projected 10 points in a half-point PPR league, but I think he's going to supersede that today. So I'm really excited to get him back in the lineup, let him get some trot. I was a big Michael Wilson fan coming out last year. I thought he was going to be kind of that 1B in that offense, and just got hurt and never really came to fruition. But now he's starting to kind of get things together, and I think he's got one of the best matchups this week.
Yeah. So speaking of matchups, so here's some of the most favorable matchups we got and who they're projected to match up with. So looking at the bottom, you got Parker Washington. He's going against Garrett Williams. So you got Parker Washington, CeeDee Lamb, Emeka Egbuka, Calvin Austin. Even I don't know about the Calvin Austin one. His matchup may be good, but his quarterback's not. Jalen Coker, Christian Watson. I think Jameson Williams is somebody that I really think is going to go off today, just because of availability. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown is elite. Don't get me wrong; he can get separation if he wants to, but I think Jameson Williams is going to be your guy there. Diggs, Downs. So I'll go ahead and I mentioned it at the top of the show, somebody that I think is going to be a really good start for you today. Josh Downs. The reason I say that is because I feel like the Chiefs are going to scheme for Tyler Warren, who has been, let's just say, elite. Like, he's been probably the best fantasy tight end so far as like yards, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's been really good for you. And then Michael Pittman, they're gonna scheme for him. So it's either gonna be Downs or Pierce. All right, Downs is all over the place. Downs is fast enough to play on the outside. He's shifty enough to play on the inside. Like, he's somebody that can get open at will. So that is my crazy start for the week, is gonna be Josh Downs. So I think you can play him and be very happy. The Packers, Romeo Dobbs, or however you say his damn name. Wan'Dale Robinson with Jameis Winston chunking the rock. Pretty Ricky, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper, Nico Collins. We saw Nico Collins against the Bills, man. I'm still shocked at how that game turned out, but I know Mellow Mike probably has some thoughts on that. So Luther Burden. So what's that?
Javarius Ward returning from concussion today.
Hey, that's awesome. The Colts are going to need that, especially to help out with Worthy and Rice. So, because Worthy's been upgraded from questionable to healthy. Yeah. So, Nico, we saw that didn't really work out too well. You know, he only had 3 catches for 55 yards. But that's okay. These are just projections anyway. Luther Burden, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice. I mean, these top ones are kind of chalk here. You know, Rashee Rice, Puka Nacua, George Pickens, Amon-Ra, and then JSN. Like, those are pretty much chalk. We know those guys are going to eat. But let's look at our not so great matchups. The ones that we think that are not going to be that great. Now, this is coming from Rotoballer. Rotoballer makes a really good spreadsheet about this. So I want to give those guys and girls a shout out over there for putting this together. Is there anybody on this list you would disagree with? Somebody you think should not be on the worst matchups?
Let me see here.
So we got probably the most notable names here. We're looking at the top: AJ Terrell, Mason Tipton. So, yeah, as far as
I would say Michael Wilson would be my only one on this list that I'm just not. I think he's going to get a lot better of a day than expected on that. But everybody else I agree with. Jerry Jeudy, agree with that. I definitely agree with Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy. That's what I was saying in the sentiment in the beginning of the show. Is like, I really don't want to face this defense. You know, it's just not something that I'm interested in. Denzel Ward with Tyler Lockett, like, that whole offense is, it's going to be sketchy there versus Las Vegas. So that would be one that I'm not interested. But, everybody else pretty much checks out because I don't want to play any of those guys.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be exciting to see Sauce Gardner in his second game with the Colts. With a bye week, they're able to get him settled into the defense. Him and Lou Anarumo get on the same page. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see, especially going against some elite pass catching. So that I'm pretty happy about that. Travaris Ward being back also helps. Like, dude, how did this secondary go from a concern to, like, locked down pretty much?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. I don't mind giving up the 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner because, like, you're at 2 projected late first-round picks. You ain't getting no Sauce Gardner that late in the draft, bro.
No.
Either one. So, like, I'm all right with it, especially since you got the line locked down. So it's not like you really need to concern about that right now. But so looking at did you see that Trey McBride got fined? Bro, like, they're saying that he, like, I guess this or what, the nose wipe thing is a violent. They called it a violent gesture. Now I don't like the thing because I feel like that's like you're doing like that, and I don't support that, but like
I think they're just trying to get away from all of the ignorant celebrations. Just they're trying to get away from players acting certain way, and I mean they've been the league's been notably like this for years. They just won't let the kids have fun, and that's just how it is. Trying to keep an image. They're trying to keep that that facade, if you will, that are a very clean company on how they run it, but at the same time, it's getting out of hand. It's getting.
But yeah, you got guys out here like, murdering people like Aaron Hernandez, and then you got people that are beating their wives and kids and all this other kind of stuff like that.
A lot of it is just like what they're promoting to kids and that type of stuff. And like, I can understand why the NFL does it. There's a lot of eyes that watch this. It's not grown. They're just watching it.
Because we all know what that little gesture is right there. It's not violent. It's something else, but we know what that gesture is. We saw CeeDee Lamb do it for the past 2-3 seasons or whatever like that. So, but
hey, can we talk about Scatabo and his side quest of just like him being hurt and he's just out doing the most?
Bro, he was at WWE SmackDown
pushing people around, like online flexing his foot, like in his podcast and his streams, like, oh yeah, I'm almost back. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and the organization has nothing to say about it. They're just like, yeah, just do your thing, brother.
Yeah, ridiculous. Wow. Like, bro, you're on I don't mind you going to WWE shows or whatever like that, like have fun, but like he's like doing like physical stuff. It's like, bro, time out. Whoa, does your team know you're doing this? Because I know they put stuff in their contracts, like wording about like doing other physical stuff. Like there's some players you can't play basketball, you can't do any of that stuff on your free time because if you get hurt, like I'm sure rookie deals aren't as strict as that.
And what's more, he's out there standing on it too, and I was like, brother, what? Wow, man, chill.
I mean, I don't know what can like that's just more like that kid is like on another level, man.
Oh,
Cam's out there doing the celebration,
so much fun to watch, man.
Yeah, he's fun. I would probably want him on my team just for the fact that I can get a Scattaboo jersey and say like he's my guy. He's so fun. All right, so a couple minutes left. Let's run down real quick. We've already talked about. I think I can easily say and speak for both of us. Say we're not trusting any Jets players against the Ravens.
You are 100% correct.
With Mason Rudolph playing quarterback, do we still trust in DK Metcalf against the Bears?
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right. And everybody in the chat, get your last minute questions in before we close out. Giants against Lions. I mean, are we firing up all of our Lions players?
Yeah.
Even Brock Wright now that Sam Laporta's on injured reserve?
No.
Which seemed to come out of nowhere, but okay. Vikings, Packers. I think this could be an exciting game here. Favorite Viking and favorite Packer to fire up today?
It definitely could be an exciting game, but it also has a great potential for a midday snoozer. I won't even lie to you, but yeah, I'd be firing up Aaron Jones. For me, I'd probably take a dart at Christian Watson maybe and Romeo Doubs.
I know Matthew Golden still had that questionable tag on him. But he may take some time to develop on that one. He may be a dynasty stash for you as opposed to a redraft. Patriots, Bengals.
I like this.
Is T. Higgins really the only Bengal that we're happy about?
And Chase Brown. Well, no, I wouldn't be interested in Chase Brown today because of the matchup.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is about it, and like I don't feel good about that either because Christian Watson is going to eat his lunch.
Oh, and my favorite guy is showing out
of Christian Watson, dude.
Travion Henderson.
Yeah, Travion Henderson is going to be a lot of fun to watch today. On the opposite side of the ball, I think Drake May's.
Oh, I love Travion Henderson.
I think Hunter Henry's going to be a good start today as well. And maybe some Stephon Diggs makes an appearance today.
Yeah. Well, it's 12 o'clock. Everybody's getting their lineup, so those noon players. But we've got some late afternoon stuff. So let's bang it out real quick. We got Colts Chiefs. Give me one Colt, one Chief.
Chief Rashid Rice, Colt Jonathan Taylor. Outside
Money.
of Jonathan Taylor, I want Michael Pittman.
Titans. I mean, ain't not one dang Titan you're firing up in this game.
No.
Jaguars Cardinals. We said this could be like a low key kind of shootout here.
I would do maybe Parker Washington. I'd probably do Travis Etienne, Michael Wilson for sure, and I probably will start the running back as well for the Cardinals.
Okay. All right. Can you still see me? My screen just blinked.
No, you are blacked out.
Okay. Well, so how about Browns and Raiders? Give me one of each.
Judkins and Genty. Oh, he's gone. Oh man, where'd you go? All right, guys. Well, it looks like we are having some technical difficulties. Looks like JR is gone. But hey, go out there, win your matchups this week. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for all the questions. Make sure to go check out our partner with Dubby. We do have Dubby Energy with us for our sponsorship. So please go out there. Make sure you get Kingmaker Sports a like and a follow on YouTube. And other than that, have a wonderful afternoon. Win those games, and let's make those championship. Thanks, you guys.